to This Is Baltimore 2, where we show you what's good in your Baltimore neighborhood. I'm your host, Odessa Rose, and today we're at Coppin State University with Olympic track and field athlete Christina Epps.
It's 8:30 in the morning on the campus of Coppin State University. And champion triple jumper Christina Epps is out training for the biggest jump of her life. One of 3 American women, Christina is heading to Rio to participate in the 2016 Summer Olympics. Christina takes some time after her morning practice to talk about the Olympics and her background in athletics.
How excited are you about leaving tomorrow?
I'm excited and ready to have fun and get out there and just enjoy the experience.
How long have you been dreaming of being an Olympian?
Well, as a child, I always thought I was going to be an Olympic basketball player. So, it was always a dream of mine, just, in a different sport.
Okay. So you've always been into sports?
Yeah, very much so. I started off with basketball, and that was my main sport up until high school. And then I dabbled in a little volleyball and track, and I got to college and I played 2 sports here. So,
Where are you from?
New Jersey, Marshall, New Jersey. It's North Jersey. Born and raised in the Bronx, still, New York. So, I'm kind of from both areas.
How would you describe your childhood?
My childhood was fun. I think I spent a lot of time outside and really, having a lot of time to play and really, find myself. And that's how I think I got so active, because I spent so much time outside and I didn't want to be inside, so. I have 7 siblings, so I'm the second youngest, and it was always very competitive in our household. Most of my siblings played sports, so the sibling I'm closest to, my brother, he's challenged me in everything, from video games to basketball to track, and he's actually one of the main reasons I actually started track. He encouraged me and pushed me to go out for the team when I was in high school. So.
I was going to ask, why did he encourage you to go out for track?
He thought I was fast. I thought I was fast. And he also knew about the jumping events. And I wasn't really familiar with the jumping events until I actually started running track. He knew of my jumping abilities from basketball. So, he's like, yeah, I think you really should take the time and go out, try it. You really like it, like you'll be really good at it. So, I always looked up to my brother, so I was, taking his word, and I went for it.
What's his name?
Philip Epps.
Philip. Okay.
Yes.
And what does Philip do?
What? Currently?
Sports. Yeah,
sports.
Yeah.
He played football, basketball, and track. So that was his sports in high school. He didn't move on to college. He was really focused on his education.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that he saw that ability in you.
Yeah, very from a child actually. When we were outside playing basketball, when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and he saw me shoot the ball, he was just like, Auntie, I think Christina has this, ability that you need to come out and see. So he's probably the first person that noticed my athletic talent. Yeah.
When your auntie came out to see it, what
Yeah.
did she say?
Oh, she was amazed. I think that Christmas she actually got me a basketball. So, she was, dedicated to providing me with my dream of wanting to be a basketball player when I got older. That didn't work out, but
So what happened to basketball?
Over the years, I kept it. I'm not sure if she still has it or not, but I played with that ball for years.
Yeah.
So I can remember it was a WNBA ball.
WNBA ball,
Yeah.
not just an she. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they encouraged this from the jump.
From the jump. Yep.
All right. What was it about volleyball that you liked?
I got to jump all the time. I really enjoy jumping, and I got to really display my jumping ability and really hit the ball hard. So that was fun. And volleyball is truly just a fun sport for me. I wasn't the best technically sound, or as my coach would say, I wasn't a volleyball player, just an athlete. But you know, I took it for what it was, and I had fun with volleyball. So, I just enjoyed it.
Okay. So jumping was just something that you like to do.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you do this sport.
Right.
And I watch people do it, and also like the triple jump. I mean, it's
Yeah.
one thing to just run down and jump once, but you got
Right.
to do bounce, and then
Yeah.
that's a hard sport.
Yes.
What do you love about it so much?
Oh man. One, I think I love it because I'm good at it. You always love things you're good at.
Yes.
But it is a combination of athletic ability and a lot of technique. It's just not just running and jumping. You really have to apply different techniques in order to master it. And what appeals me and continues to appeal me to triple jump is that I continually have to learn. And I'm not going to master it maybe ever, but to get to that point of perfection one day, it definitely is a goal, and what intrigues me, my interest.
Hey Baltimore, this is Lawrence, and you're watching This Is Baltimore 2.
Christina explains how her progression from other sports led to her becoming the track and field athlete now competing in the Olympics.
Did you take to track right away?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. I got pushed to go out for track in middle school. I went out. We were running. I hate running, so I quit after the first day of practice in middle school. So after, when I got into high school, I was a little more mature, and hey, I'll go out for the team. I tried out, I believe, my junior year, and just stuck with it. I really enjoyed high jump and long jump at first, and then triple jump really didn't, become one of my favorite events until my senior year, when I really actually started to learn and focus on it.
What did you find to be the most challenging part about volleyball or basketball?
The most challenging part for basketball was learning the plays for me. Because I played so many positions because of my height, and also my ability, my speed, and also my ability to pass the ball. I played from like the 2 down to the 5, and at range. So I had to know every position, every play for every position, pretty much. And that was probably the most difficult part. But I really enjoyed and had fun with basketball and volleyball. The most difficult part for me was passing.
Passing?
The ball. For some awkward reason, I was just not good at passing. I just wanted to hit, and I was okay with that. I think pretty much my coaches in high school just pushed me to hit most of the time, so I didn't focus on passing. And as I got into college, I was just like, all right, well, just take me out when I have to like serve and go to pass. I'm not good at it. So,
how did you come to be a cop?
I was recruited originally to play volleyball here at COP, and old volleyball coaches recruited me. And track came into the mix, and they offered me a full ride. I said, okay, great. And they were the only school that was willing to allow me to play 2 sports. So I said, this is the place I need to be.
How difficult was it playing the two sports?
It was pretty difficult. The most difficult part was making the transition from volleyball into track. Volleyball, the practices weren't as vigorous as track, as we do a lot more running. So the conditioning, when I'm making that transition into track, when everybody else has had that fall conditioning, and I hadn't, so I'm like playing catch up, and that was the most difficult part. But I loved getting out of running cross country, so that was the most great.
I was going to say, and you said you didn't like running. What made you okay? I mean, you run all the time now. So what changed?
Nothing changed.
Okay.
I still hate running. My coach has pushed me to run every day, but I push myself because I know it's a requirement and it's something I need to do in order to be better and be great. And that's what great athletes do. They do what you don't like. You do what's hard, and you push yourself to the limit.
So how did you ultimately end up on the runway for long jump?
In college, I tore my ACL in 2012, and I had to make a decision at that point to continue playing both sports or not, because it was a lot of pressure on my knee. So obviously I was better in track, so I just chose track, and my volleyball coach was okay with that decision. So the injury made me choose, so I had to stop playing volleyball and really focused on track.
Okay. How hard was that decision?
It wasn't that hard because I had a true love for track, and volleyball I did because it was fun and I enjoyed it. I think the hard part was I had a great coach who was actually coach under my coach, my current coach. And I think, leaving her was the harder part. Yeah.
You majored in psychology.
Yeah.
What attracted you to that career?
My mom, actually. She worked in rehabilitation and substance abuse services. As a kid, I always sat in her office and, just waited for her, and really my heart yearned for those individuals. So when I got to school, and I wanted to major in something where I could give back in, and eventually, kind of grew into wanting to do more sports psychology because of my love for athletics. So that was the start of me majoring in psychology.
You are not only a great athlete,
Mm-hmm.
you're a great student. How difficult was it to be an athlete and a student?
It was tough. Some days when you're staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning, doing papers, and you got to get up for a 6 a.m. practice, and go to the weight room, and then go to an 8 o'clock class right after weight. So it was tough some days, and I really pride myself on my education, and my brother was another big factor in that, in pushing me to be an intellect, and I never wanted to disappoint my athletic director, current athletic director, my coach as well, her, and my family either. So I pride myself on my education, and always getting good grades. So I was always driven, no matter the circumstance of what track or volleyball required of me. I made sure I put my academics first.
Hey Baltimore, this is Nicole, and you are watching This Is Baltimore 2.
Right now you are the academic advisor.
Yes.
What do you like most about that position?
Helping the student athletes. I really enjoy connecting with them and seeing their growth, and hoping to help them to be a success story as myself, and seeing them just succeed. I really want to keep on the tradition that Coppin Athletics has built on holding academics to a very high standard, and that's why I enjoy it.
The relationship Christina has with her coach, Alicia Shields Gadsden, is important and goes beyond athletics.
You could have left Coppin. What made you stay?
To be quite honest, my coach, she has been a very big factor in my growth, not only as a track athlete, but as an individual, as a person, as a black woman. She has groomed me to make smart decisions, and I didn't want to leave that relationship. On the track, we have this connection that you just don't get with everyone, and she knows me better than I know myself. So at the time, I didn't want to lose that relationship, and I still don't. So it was important for me to stay here and continue to give back to my Coppin campus and community, which she's always pushed me to do. So that was important for me.
What did your coaches see in you that you did not see in yourself?
I really didn't know my ability, my potential to be an Olympian. My coach, Alicia Gadsden, always believed that I had that potential. And she saw that when I couldn't see it, when I tore my ACL, and I definitely, couldn't see it then. She continued to push me and know that I was driven enough and I had enough talent where I could be an Olympian, and she saw that in me.
What did you see in your coaches?
I saw mentors in my coaches from high school up until now. I've learned a lot from them, and how to handle my track abilities, and the attention I get from it, and just how to be a better person. I feel like when you're in athletics and in sports in general, a lot of time you spend a lot of time with your coaches, and you look up to a lot of the athletes, look up to them, and you learn from them, and you not only learn from them as a coach, but as a person, and I've learned a lot. So they've been mentors to me.
Christina discusses her injury and the support she received from family and others to return and compete.
Well, I was at a track meet in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and that week my hamstring had really been bothering me, and I was complaining about my knee a little bit, but I decided to go ahead and go anyway, and I had really try to force a jump, and it popped, and on a triple jump, and I fell, and I knew immediately that something was really wrong. So that ended my season, the outdoor season of 2012.
I read that your mom said you just called and cried.
Yeah, I called her and cried for a couple hours. I didn't understand why God would do this to me. I didn't feel like I deserved it, or I earned it, or why he punished me for this. But I eventually had to stop looking at it like that, and you know, understand that, you know, everything doesn't come as you want it to come, and you know, it ended up making me a better athlete and a better person, more driven, and gave me the motivation really to take my talent to the next level.
What did you do? Because you were off for what, a year or so?
Yeah, a year, and so a couple months. Yeah.
What did you do in that year?
I did a lot of rehab. I did, and a lot of strength and conditioning, trying to rebuild the muscles around my knee, because they were completely deflated. My legs were completely uneven, so I had to, you know, really rehab for 2-3 times a day, and you know, started lifting later on in my recovery process. And that's pretty much it. By the time I got back to the track, it was already outdoor season, and I had to start, you know, running. So I was playing catch up on conditioning and all of that. So it was difficult, but you know, it made me better.
Okay. What did you learn about yourself in that year?
That you know, I can push myself more than I had before. I think my rehabilitation process was probably the hardest thing I'd ever done. Really pushing my knee past its limit, and it translated to the track, and me not wanting to run before, and really pushing myself every time I had to run, and that made me a better track athlete later down the line.
So you go from tearing your ACL, believing that you'll never jump, I think you said 13?
13 meters.
Yeah, you thought you'd never do that.
No.
And in 2014, just 2 years later,
Yeah.
you're receiving this award.
Yeah.
How?
You know, I always tell people I believe that the ACL injury was a blessing in disguise. It made me refocus, and really appreciate my talent, because I felt that I almost had lost it. So it was almost a wake-up call for me, because prior to, I was just getting by with my talent, and not really using it and taking it to the next level. And the ACL injury propelled me to that next level, and it helped me to, you know, win things like the Woman of the Year award. It taught me to appreciate things. So and that year I became dedicated to try to finish out my collegiate years with a 4.0, and try to you know, push myself at every practice. So it motivated me, and that's how.
You speak a lot about God. Every interview,
Yes.
every interview you talk about God.
Yes.
Where does that come from?
My mom and my grandma. I was established, grew up in a church home, and as a child, I was always just around church. My mom's an ordained elder, and she always put, you know, God first, and I saw that. And my church home back in Morristown, New Jersey, and my pastor really just, you know, gave me the foundation I needed, and mentored me, you know, in my spirituality, and made me believe it's okay to say you believe in God, and it's nothing you should be ashamed of. And you know, he's brought me to where I am today, and I'm very proud and thankful to him for everything. So that is something I am not ashamed, and you know, I'm one of his humble servants. So I try to use my athletic talent as a platform to, talk about God and why not and why should I not. So he's brought me through a lot, and he's gotten me to where I am right now.
So I'm sure during your rehabilitation, you leaned on him a lot.
Yes. I cried and I asked why, and he gave me my answer.
All right.
Hey Baltimore, this is Darius, and you're watching This Is Baltimore too.
Describing the jumps that led to her qualifying for the Olympic team, Christina talks about the mental and psychological adjustments after each jump.
Now we're at July 7th, 2016. Take us through that first jump. First jump, 14.33?
41.
41?
It was a foul.
Talk about that.
I knew that jump was big. I knew it was past the 46-foot mark. And I got up and I thought I had it. I didn't know I fouled. It was literally the tip of my toe. And I was like, oh man, like it's there, it's there. And I can't. I was just like, all right, don't get down on yourself. Go out and do the same thing on the second one.
Okay, so describe that second jump. What was the second jump?
14.25 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and same thing. Went down, hairline, toe foul, and at that point when I got out the pit, I was starting to get frustrated, and I was just like, oh man, I need a jump to get into the finals. So my coach is just like, calm down. A safe jump, put one out there, they'll put you in the finals. Any given day, I feel like I can go out and jump 44, 45 feet. So I was able to, go out and put a solid jump out, and on that third one, so that got me in.
So now you're on that fourth jump. What happens?
I'm still feeling like, man, the third jump wasn't that good. I'm in my head. I'm thinking about, hey, I need to get this mark today. This is the last opportunity. So on the fourth jump, I went down with all these things playing in my head, and I didn't jump well. So just had to let it go. And when I got out the pit, was frustrated, and I had to go back and sit down and pray to God.
So now we're at that fifth jump. You're standing at the top of the runway.
Yep.
What are you thinking?
Relax.
Okay.
Don't put any pressure on yourself. Don't try hard. Your training is going great. You're in a good position. You have 2 good far jumps. If you could do it once, twice, you can do it 3 times. So relax and let it go. So in that moment, I just said, hey, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna put my foot down as much as possible. And when I got out the pit, 14-17. Yeah, I was exhilarated. The feeling is unexplainable. I look at the picture and another picture that I actually have on my phone. And that feeling, every time I look at it, comes back again. It almost brings tears to my eyes because I'm so happy about just making the team. I made the team, and despite fouling bigger jumps, my goal, or even possibly winning the competition, my goal was to make the team, and I was able to do that in that moment, and that picture says it all. Yeah, my coach kept saying, I have a feeling you're going to jump 14-17 prior to the track meet. And, she just kept saying it for like 2 days straight. I was just like, okay. So, when it came up on the board, I was like, how did she know? Like,
14, that's crazy.
On the money. On
the money.
Yeah.
Not 14, 16, not 14. She said
14,
and
17.
you jumped.
14, 17.
What is your family's reaction?
Oh man, immediately when I'm jumping it, I have an Apple Watch, so all my text messages and stuff come to my watch. My watch starts going off. Everybody's like, yes, yes, yes. So excited. My mom's calling and super excited for me. Everybody back at home, I know prayers were going up, and I had prayers all across the country, so I felt like God had no choice but to answer them. So they were excited, to say the least.
Your coach,
Mm-hmm.
what did she say?
She screamed at first, threw up her hands, and then she was like, all right, but there's 2 more girls that can jump as well. So she was just like, all right, well, let's calm down, just in case, you may have to put another one out there. But yeah, she was happy. She was happy.
One of the girls is from where you're from, right?
Yes. She goes to the University of Georgia. She's from Morris County, like I am. She went to Mount Olive High School, and I went to Morristown High School. But we, we're 4 or 5 years apart, so we never competed against each other.
Okay. Because of you, Coppin, I read that Coppin is getting all kinds of inquiries about their program.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Oh man, it makes me feel great. To bring, track athletes to the school that, want to invest their time in the university because of our track program is amazing. I hope when they come here, I can actually have a bigger impact on them than what they see on TV or they've heard from the track world. Because Coppin has more to offer than, just athletics. And, it took me some time to notice that. And in my growth and in my guidance from my coach, I've become so prideful and proud to be a Coppin alum. And, I hope to instill that in them as they, join our program. So, yeah, we've been getting tons of inquiries, and especially, a lot of potential triple jumpers that want to come and train with us. So it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't an athlete. I just came strictly and did academics, and Coppin gave me everything I needed to go on to graduate school because I went to the University of Maryland.
Yeah.
They prepared me for graduate school. I held my own at the University of Maryland because of the teachers, the professors I had here.
Absolutely.
So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This sport, because of your injury, it takes a toll on your body. How do you keep yourself healthy?
It's constantly managing your body, especially when you get later into the season. I had to learn last year, my first year being a professional, that I can go to as many track meets or I can train like I did as a collegiate athlete because the season is so much longer. And I tried to do that last year and re-jammed my torn ACL knee in a competition in Costa Rica where I was competing for Team USA. And that I needed that learning experience to show me how to manage my schedule this year. So as I went into this year, I managed my body differently, and I changed how I was eating completely, and how I did my rehabilitative practices, and how I went on in the weight room it's really managing your body, and when your body says, really to that limit of no, you gotta stop. So it was a learning experience last year for me, how to manage my body, and this year I've been able to do that better. But it's definitely a process. A lot of people say you rest just as much as you train, and it's important.
What sacrifices have you had to make in order to follow this dream?
Yeah. Well, actually, I wanted to go to graduate school at the University of Tennessee, where I got accepted in the master's program for sports psychology. And one of the sacrifices I made was not going. I stayed here and decided to train with my coach, and continue my master's program online for last year, and actually put it on hold again this year, finishing up, because I wanted to focus on track and trying to make my Olympic dreams come true. And all other sacrifices. I had a job previously, prior to coming to Coppin as an academic advisor, and I had to quit in mid-year my previous job and come here because it was too much for me to balance. Waking up at 4 in the morning at that time and trying to get up and train, and then having to go between work and training was very difficult. So, I've made the sacrifices of cutting my my financial stability, but that was okay because I knew, while I'm young, I might as well pursue my dreams.
What keeps you motivated?
Just my inner drive. It's who I am. I'm not a quitter. And as long as I feel like I have more in me, I'll continue to go. We'll see what the future holds, but it's just my inner motivation, inner beast. Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
Who are your biggest supporters?
My coach, Alicia Scatton, my mom, my fiance, and my other strength and conditioning coach, have been huge supporters. My high school coach, he's continued to support my dreams as well. But those are my biggest supporters, and my coach has been there every step of the way, and she's pushed me and motivated me and gave me the confidence to believe that I could get to this level. Words really can't describe what she really truly means to me. And she's just more than a coach, a mother figure, and a mentor, and a great person that I can hope to emulate.
Now, your brother is the one that suggested this whole thing.
Yeah, of course, my brother.
How does he feel?
Oh man, he's ecstatic. My brother is very. He thinks about everything, overthinks sometimes, and I think I get that from him. But he's always sending me videos and doing his research about triple jump, and getting me, giving me ideas to, how to work on things to get better, and he's always trying to be a part of the process in my success. So I really appreciate that, and he's given me this, start. And who knew I was gonna be this good at it? But yeah, he's been great.
What advice would you give to someone? Like I said, a lot of people are coming here, and then you're gonna have a lot of people, young girls, looking at you and going, "Hey, let me try that sport." What advice would you give young girls or anybody that's thinking of doing this sport?
Whatever you decide to do in track, give it your all. Don't hold back, and especially if I have talent, and I see a lot of people. We get a lot of athletes who are Coppin who have a lot of talent, but they don't work hard enough for it. And hard work and dedication really mean a lot, and they take you far. Just don't take your talent for granted, and really use it to not only on the track, but to impact someone else. And that's what I've been taught, and that's my goal moving forward. How can I impact the next person who needs help?
Well, that's it for today's show. Thank you for joining us, and please tune in again so we can show you what's good in your Baltimore neighborhood.